Let me tell you something. I will go for a blanket wherever I am, son. It's sunny outside. It is warm even, but I want a blanket. And that is what we're going to do. I want a blanket. Guys, I'm doing this for the second time, and I hope that there won't be any distractions. I'm doing this for the second time. First time around, the guys who do our grass cutting, they came and did their thing, and I was almost at the end of that video, and now I'm having to do this again. Anyway, hi everyone, and welcome to another video. If you do not know me, my name is Dial-Makhubalo, and welcome home. This is my home, this is your home, and this is our home. All right. Welcome, guys. So this week we're doing a young sit down. I promised that I'd give you guys a lowdown on where I've been and what life has looked like. So this is a combination of life update, or where I've been / life update, right? Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. Cool. So it's 2023, right? This year is 2023, but I have to take you back to 2020, which is when I started my YouTube channel. So I started the channel in 2020. We were still living in a different apartment then, and then at the end of 2020 we bought a house. So we bought our home, and then we moved at the end of 2020. So 2021, beginning of the year, I have this nudge in my spirit that says we must go home, right? And I debated with God on this home thing quite a lot. Home is an interesting concept to me, but it's also been a place of struggle for me, yeah? And so I was just like, Andiboni bao, I'm not seeing it, I'm not, yeah. And so that was a bit challenging, yeah, when that go home. At the time we were engaged, and my relationship with my grandmother, who is the only parent that I have now, was very strained, yeah. And I mean, my grandmother and I are only rebuilding now, and it's almost 13 years later. So it's been a stressful, hard relationship to navigate. And so going home was weird for me for those reasons. But also, it was also weird because we weren't married, so it didn't make sense that we're gonna go home to Sive's home because so I was just like, Lord, make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense. But this thing kept on nudging. It kept on saying, go home, home, home for this season, home. And about 2 months in, after this nudge, I started speaking to him, to Sive, about it. And he was like, and easy, thanks, bye. And every time I'd bring it up, his answer was always the same: I'm not coming to the party. Then what then happened was that around June, our daughter went to his mom, so his home, for about 3 months. So I think we left her in May, at the end of May. I had prolonged postpartum depression, taken our daughter to his mom for a few months, so we had time and space to really think and really talk. And this thing kept on being in my spirit. And after realizing that it was like irritating him now, that I don't want to do it. So then I said to God, I'm going to stop talking to him about it, but I need you to talk to him. If it's something that we have to do, talk to him. And then I let it go. I literally just let it go. September, we went home to get married, so we were going to sign and also have a traditional small do. And so 2 days before we signed, he said, let's do it. And I was in shock, but I also knew that the reason why I had said to God, say it to him, was because I know that Usive, when he makes a decision about something and he's convicted on it, he acts very quickly. He's not one of those people who will think twice about it. Like when he knows that this is something that is connecting with me and is landing in my spirit, he will do it. So I knew that if God is the one who takes it to him, it won't take long. Guys, I kid you not, within 2 weeks, we were back in Joburg. So this is September 2021. We're back in Joburg, and we came and packed our house up. We had lived in the house for about 10 months at the time, and we moved to the Eastern Cape. There are a lot of things we didn't think through in that process, but I think that that was also God's desire. I think God wanted for us to just literally do it, and learn in it. And as I reflect back, one of the things was, I don't think we thought through the fact that this would be our first year of marriage, which meant that it would be the foundation of our marriage and what the implications of that would be, for example. And then there are other examples in terms of how navigating being a parent when you are in your parents' home will look like. Then I think the financial implications of it, right? Particularly when one of you is the one who is employed and the other one is figuring out how to build a business. And that's where I was at. So there were many layers that we didn't think through. And it's not that we didn't think through, because I think that that's not actually a truthful statement. We thought through them, but I think the conviction was larger than all of the other things that could either be challenges or be stumbling blocks along the way, right? So anyway, we came back, we were in Joburg for 2 weeks, and we packed up and left. I vlogged going to the Eastern Cape, like I vlogged that transition thing. I remember that last week, which probably the last 3 days or so, I had anxiety and I was struggling to get out of bed. And I think it was the fear of what this is going to look like, right? As I've said, I struggle with the home concept. And so, or maybe struggled, because I don't think I'm there yet. I'm there anymore. But I was scared of going to live in someone's home where I'm an outsider, because practically all of my life, all of my childhood, I was an outsider in people's homes because I moved around a lot. I was scared of that. I think that was my biggest fear, actually, because I wasn't scared of like being or the expectations of being a makoti and stuff. I didn't think that there would be expectations, but I learned differently. But that didn't, I wasn't so scared of that. My biggest fear was being an outsider and feeling like an outsider in a home that is not my home, And listen, that anxiety, I recall having a conversation, being on the phone with a friend of mine, and we hadn't started packing, and I had a project that I was working on at the time, and saying to her, you see, it's coming up even now as I'm speaking about it, and I was saying to her, I'm scared of what this is going to mean for me. I'm scared of what's going to happen. And she was like, okay, you're scared, but you need to do the practical stuff now. Like, you need to pack, because you're packing a whole house. You don't have help. Because our helper had just gotten a job, I think she had just gotten a permanent job. So we lost our helper as well. And yeah, yeah, I was very scared. I was very, very scared. But we got help eventually and packed up and left. So we ended 2021 living in the Eastern Cape. We moved at the end of October. End of October, beginning of November, I think end of October. So yeah, while in the Eastern Cape, I think vlogging or coming back to YouTube, actually, because vlogging was not even a thing for me at the time, coming back to YouTube was a desire for me, but it was a difficult thing to do because I was stretched in many ways. I was navigating being a student, being a mom, being a wife, being a daughter-in-law, and building my business. And on top of that was the fact that I was not in my own personal space, right? And I felt, as a sign of respect to Umama, let me not make her feel uncomfortable in her own home by like vlogging or, you know, now her home is going to be exposed everywhere, you know. So I wanted to respect her. I wanted to respect her privacy. And those are the two main reasons why vlogging or coming back to YouTube, actually, not vlogging, coming back to YouTube became a challenge, right? And while I was in the Eastern Cape, then I started falling in love with vlogs, and I had this desire to do it, but it was obviously going to be difficult because we were not in our own space. At the end of 2021, my husband then got a job that required for him to come back to Joburg. And so again, we packed up our stuff at the end of 2021 and came back to Johannesburg, to our home. Lessons learned from the entire experience was you don't really know a person until you know where they come from. So that's what happened. So we moved back to Johannesburg and started afresh. And in starting afresh, I thought, you know, we're coming back, it's going to be going back to the regular, but my husband had started a new job that was challenging. My daughter was starting a new school, challenging, and she was struggling. Like, Lucy didn't want to go to school. She'd wake up crying every morning. She doesn't want to go to school. And I mean, she's a child, you know, she doesn't know how to process her emotions. She doesn't know what change looks and feels like. Now it feels like it's a threat to her, you know. And so I struggled because of that, because I was trying to then hold space for both of them. And the other thing is that being self-employed gives this false impression that you've got time, right? It gives it to you even as the business owner, but it also gives it to other people. So because I was self-employed, yes, I have the luxury of flexibility. I could hold space for everyone else. I could hold space for my daughter. I could hold space for my husband, who had started the job but also was studying at the same time, right? But I think I didn't give myself time. I didn't give myself time to process what living in the Eastern Cape was like for me and the different levels of it. I didn't give myself time to figure out what living in Johannesburg again would look like for me. And so I just started like moving. And in the moving, I remember I started vlogging in February. And every time I'd vlog, oh gosh, I started vlogging in February, and every time I'd vlog, I'd be like, do I really want to put this out? Then there was questions that I had for myself personally, because I'm a very private person, right? And I'm a very sentimental person, I'd say. So my home is like, it's my sanctuary, and I don't know if I was ready to share that with people. I don't know if I was ready to open up my home to people. I don't know that, you know, I was ready to even open up my family to people, my whole family to people. I remember having a discussion with Usive about vlogging, and at first he just didn't get it, because he was just like, that's not you, you know. But there was something about vlogging that connected with me, and the creativity, the beauty, the capturing of moments that connected so much with me. And I felt that if I didn't do this, I would be neglecting or rejecting myself to a certain extent. So after discussing it with him and like trying to vlog and it not happening, and I kid you not, guys, every other week I was starting a new vlog from the beginning of this year. I then had a sit down with myself, and I was like, okay, no more excuses. Because my excuse at first was I don't have time, or it's not my own space, so I can't do it. And then the other excuse was that I don't know how to edit, and I don't have time to learn how to edit. What was the other excuse? Then the others were not excuses, they were really valid things, because I really had to think long and hard about opening myself up in such a way on YouTube. I also wanted to protect my husband, because in as much as I am a private person, I think he's even more private than I am. And like, he never wants to be on the camera, but he enjoyed the sit downs that we do. But I think the process of vlogging is very intrusive for him, so he doesn't like that. What else? Oh, and considering whether, you know, I would like Luhle to be on camera or not, and that I'm still figuring out, because I also want her to just be herself without having to, but she likes the camera, she likes being she likes being on the camera. But yeah, I haven't figured that out. And also, that's not to say that I want to just, you know, give you guys a fragment of myself. It simply is that there are implications to everything that we do, right? And I must think of the implications of me recording and vlogging and putting my baby's face out there, and what that's going to mean for her as she grows up. So I'm still figuring that out, but as I'm figuring it out, I felt that I can at least do some things, you know, and share some things. So basically, moving back to Johannesburg was good, but also very challenging for me, because I think I only started to process the aftermath of a lot of things, like the moving up and down and not feeling like I'm centered in my own space and all of that. I had to figure that out. And as I was busy processing that, my uncle passed away. And again, that was another blow. It was another blow because, as I said, my grandmother and I had a very tension-filled relationship, right? And it's not just her and I don't have a very close relationship with my family. And I didn't have a close relationship with Malume at all. But when he passed on, grief is a funny thing, is that when he passed on, because I didn't have a close relationship with him, I didn't expect that his passing would hit me the way it did. And when it did, when his passing hit me the way it did, I then felt shame about it. I felt, how can I feel like I should grieve, or I'm feeling pain for someone that I wasn't close to, right? It was a difficult thing to navigate. I felt guilty for feeling pain. I felt like I shouldn't be grieving him, but I was, because I just struggled. We went back to the Eastern Cape to attend his funeral, and that was the first time my family had been together, like all of us together, ever since my great-grandmother had passed on in 1999. Crazy. That was the first time where we were all together, except for the people then who passed on after my great-grandmother passed on. And I reflected on that. Ooh, when I'm doing this, and that was also a painful point for me, that was really a painful point for me. Then we came back home, and I started then obviously now navigating the grief and stuff. So yeah, eventually I had to sit myself down and be like, this is a promise that I made to myself, that 2023 I'm coming back on YouTube. So that's where I've been. That's what life has looked like. There are obviously many lessons learned in being married for 2 years now, and what that first year meant for us. And I think I'd rather have that conversation with Usipe present, not alone. So that's where I've been. Life lately has been difficult because growing up is difficult, but it's also been very good. It's also been very good. It's been, I would say I'm in my liberated era. And I'm being liberated from different things. And it's beautiful and it's good. So life has been good. Life has been really good, with challenges, because growing up is filled with a lot of challenges. So life has been good. What else is there to share? 2 years of marriage has been good as well. Our daughter is also growing, and it's been beautiful to watch her grow. And I think it's also been beautiful to be so present. I think for Lucia's first year, I was present, but in the sense of being physically present, like doing what needs to be done. You need to be fed, you need to burp, you need to sleep, because I was sleep deprived, and there were so many things that I was navigating. The second year of life, I was navigating being a mother while living with her grandmother, and trying to give her grandmother a level of authority as a grandmother, but also trying to navigate being her mother. So that was hard for me. That was very, very hard. There's certain things that I literally would leave to Umama simply because I wanted her to feel like she's a part of Lucia's life. And in subtle ways, I was also letting go of so much of my responsibility as a mother, right? And that did not sit well with me. So her third year is the year where I feel I've been so present, and present but with gentleness also, like with such love, care, and gentleness. And I'm very, very proud of this year. I'm very proud of the mother that I have become and the mother that I'm becoming. Yeah. So that's been life. That's been life. So I've been working because yeah, I'm not a housewife. So amidst all of these things that I'm sharing with you guys, is still trying to build my business, which is a coaching business. It is still trying to build, I've got two businesses, a research consulting business and coaching. So I've been trying to build both. I've been trying to be present for myself more, more loving, more kind, more patient with myself, so that I can be able to serve everyone in my life. I think actually this year has liberated me and given me such presence, man, in different ways. I think even in terms of the wife I'm becoming, because Sana, you will become until the end, thereby marriage. The wife I'm becoming is a girl I like. I like her. I like her. And even as a business owner, so many lessons as well. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. But you know what? It's been a good year. It's been a good year. It's been a good year of God showing us that He's capable and He's good. Yeah. So that's basically what life has looked like. That's where I've been, and this is what life now looks like. And yeah, I continue to figure out this business thing, which is also not like an easy thing to do, my dear. Yeah. What else is there to share? I don't think there's anything else to share, guys. That's where I've been, and that's what my life looks like now. And I'm looking forward to what YouTube is going to be for me, particularly in the next year, because that's where things are going to really unfold. I think now I'm still like doing the groundwork, but I'm looking forward to what the journey is going to look like and enjoying the journey as well. I hope you liked this update, and I hope, yeah, I hope you're well informed now on my whereabouts and what I'm doing. And if you have any questions, do pop them in the comment section. Diana's getting any spice, but you're welcome to pop them in the comment section. I'll see you again very soon. All right. Bye, guys.